journey. I'm so grateful to be here today. I'm so grateful to be at Rhythmia today. What a beautiful day. What an amazing place. I'm excited to share with you Medicine Thoughts number 3. Thank you, Jerry, for asking me to step in to do this Facebook Live today. I'm so grateful. I love doing it. I love doing it. I love being here. I'm so grateful to be at Rhythmia because so much transformation happens here every week, week in and week out. And the premise of what is taught here is fundamentally a medicine thought. What we teach here comes from the medicine. And it came through our founder and my brother, Jerry, and his medicine journeys. And he's delivered it in such a brilliant way. And I've gotten to teach it over these last 5.5, almost 6 years. So I want to share with you today a little bit about Rhythmia while you're streaming through, just what's going on here this week, all the healing, to give you a little sense of what's up at this amazing place. And then I want to talk to you about some medicine thoughts, really clear messages about how there's nothing wrong, about how perfect you are, even in what you think are your faults, even in what we think are our deficits, is perfection, this grand design. So I want to share with you some thoughts from the medicine and a funny story about Oprah on ayahuasca. No, Oprah didn't come here. But I got a story. I want to share with you a story. Got a cute little story for you. Okay, Rhythmia. One of the most beautiful teachings here at Rhythmia that is a direct thought from the medicine is that we are, hey, Reverend Kathleen McNamara, good to see you. Hey, everybody over here in Instagram world. Hello, everyone over here in YouTube and Facebook world. Thank you for streaming in. Welcome, pull up a seat. Diego, what's up, brother? Hello, everybody. All right. The fundamental teaching at Rhythmia is in alignment with the fundamental principle of the universe. And this is that we are never separate, that we are always a part of this whole, a wholeness from which we emerged, that we come into this world perfect, whole, and complete. We come in, we take form, literally from the formless to the formed, from the invisible to the visible. There was an impulse, an idea in an infinite realm of possibility and potential. Some people back in the day called that God. Today, the physicists call that the unified field. We call it consciousness. The metaphysicians call it consciousness. There was an idea in consciousness of you and of me, and we emerged into this world, and we came in perfect, whole, and complete, and we still are. But when we came here, something happened. Something happened, and we said to ourselves, a thought came into our mind that said, I'm not enough. I'm not safe. I don't belong, or I'm not loved. Something happened. It could be as simple as I didn't get fed on time, or I didn't get to play Monopoly with my brothers and sisters, or I didn't get picked for kickball. It could be as traumatic as what Jerry experienced, child molestation or abandonment. Anything on that spectrum, it doesn't matter, because trauma isn't what happened. Trauma is the story that we tell ourselves about what happened. So something happened, I didn't get to play kickball, or I was abandoned. And either way, the story that we tell ourselves is I'm not safe, or I don't belong. And that story, as simple as it is, it's a child mind, an impression that we took on, and then we see everything else in our lives through that impression. Here's how it works. Imagine, this is an example from Michael Singer in a wonderful series, a lecture series that he did called Living a Life of Surrender. Michael Singer talks about how this first impression occurs and how we see everything else in our lives through this first impression. At Rhythmia, we call it Show Me Who I've Become. So let's say we come in perfect, whole, and complete. We're like a blank screen. Remember those first plasma TV screens, the very first ones that came out, the really big ones, the first flat screens? And remember, if you paused like a movie or something, the image would burn on the screen, right? And then you'd be watching the next movie through the image, the burnt image of the last thing that you paused too long. Remember that? That's just like our consciousness. We come into this world perfect, whole, and complete, a blank screen. And then, in Michael Singer's example, a butterfly lands on our hand. We go, oh, butterfly, that's good. I like butterfly. Butterfly's good. Isn't that sweet? And then we're walking down the street and we see a snake. We go, oh, snake, bad. Oh, okay. So butterfly good, snake bad. And there's the first impression. That impression, butterfly good, snake bad, gets impressed on the screen of our consciousness. And then we're walking down the street and we see a stick. And we go, oh, that stick's kind of like the snake. And it triggers that original, ooh, snake bad, stick, snake bad. And then we're walking down the street and we see a twine, stick, snake, and a rope, twine, stick, snake, wire, rope, twine. So we go through life with all of these things that aren't at all like the first impression, but they're similar. They kind of remind us of it. So it triggers that initial, I'm bad, I don't belong, something's wrong, I'm not enough, and I'm not safe. We go through life like this. These impressions get stacked upon us. So we come in perfect, whole, and complete. Something happens and we split from ourselves. What's that split? That split is that I have to hide something. There's a part of me that's not okay. If I didn't get picked for kickball, must be something wrong with me. If I was abandoned, must be something wrong with me. I got to hide that. That's not good. That's a crack. That's a imperfection. That's a defect. And so I want to hide that. So I put on a mask to hide that. I put on a protective coating. And I say, well, if I didn't get picked for kickball, I've got to be the smart one. I've got to be the one that helps everybody out. I got to be the one that's responsible. Whatever we think we need to be in order to get picked again for kickball, that's the mask. These impressions happen early in our childhood. And then we go through life, and that early impression, it's not in our conscious mind any longer. It's in our subconscious mind, but it's still affecting us. We see a rope and we think it's the snake. We see a stick and we think it's the snake. We have something that happens in life that's similar, but not the same. And it triggers that same initial reaction. And that leads us to a place of being, leads us to a place in life where eventually we don't even know what we like anymore. We don't even know who we are. We feel so disconnected from ourselves. And that's why people come to Rhythmia. And what happens at Rhythmia is you get to see, oh, wow, all this stuff that I thought, that's all because of this snake that I saw, but none of the other stuff is like it. And we get to see the lie that we were telling ourselves. Here's another example of that. I got a cute little story for you. All right, you guys ready? This story is about a cracked pot. So there was a cracked pot. This story is an example of, hey, Zib, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. This story is an example of how what we think is our imperfection is actually a beautiful way to serve. This is what we see at Rhythmia, that we thought was bad. What we thought was bad is actually good. So the story of a cracked pot. I'm a crack. There's a saying in English, right? Crackpot. He's a crackpot. We're all cracked pots. We're all crackpots. So there's a story of the cracked pot, and the cracked pot is feeling kind of bad because it's got this crack in it, and it can't carry all the water. Every time it gets to the master's house, it doesn't get all the water to the master's house. And it feels bad because there's a perfect pot that doesn't have a crack in it, and it gets to carry its full complement of water to the master's house. So the cracked pot the cracked pot's feeling a little bad. It's feeling sad. It's like, I'm not a really good pot. I'm not fulfilling my mission. I'm not like the perfect pot. I'm spilling water. I can't even do what I was made to do. Not even, right? Ever feel that way? So the water carrier notices that the cracked pot's feeling kind of bad. So he says, hey, cracked pot, what's up? Why are you feeling so bad? And the cracked pot says, well, because I can't carry all the water. You know, the water carrier senses this. And he says, hey, cracked pot, look down on the floor, on the path where we carry the water. What do you see? And the cracked pot looks down and he says, I see flowers. And the water carrier says, yes, those flowers bloomed because of the water that you spilled when we were walking to the master's house. And not only that, but we cut those flowers every day and they become a gift of beauty for the master's table. Well, the cracked pot was very happy about this and felt, maybe I'm not so bad. The beauty of this story is that what we think is an imperfection within us is actually a beautiful way to serve. What we think is an imperfection is actually part of a beautiful grand design. Sometimes we can't see the way things fit together, but it's always a blessing. Dee says there's a gift in every shadow. This is what Carl Jung calls the union of opposites. When what we thought was a defect actually becomes a unique way of our own self-expression. And what this story is telling us is what we learn at Rhythmia every week, that we don't have to do anything. We don't have to change anything in the external world. We just need to come to ourselves and be ourselves. Just be you and just be me. Just be that little boy or little girl that came into the world open-hearted, ready to engage with the world. So this is one of the key pieces of the teaching here at Rhythmia, is to be who we are, just as we are. That even what we thought was bad, what we thought was wrong, what we thought was a defect, what we thought was our perpetrator, what we thought was a limiting story, a limiting belief, what we thought was wrong with us was actually the thing, is actually the thing that's the fuel for our next stage of growth and development. It's all so perfect. One of the beautiful lessons, one of the beautiful thoughts from the medicine that we get is that life is perfect, that there's nothing wrong, even in what we think is imperfect, even in what we think are imperfections. I want to share with you one of my favorite personal experiences of the medicine. When I first came to Rhythmia, I was in ceremony. It was my first week of doing ceremony at Rhythmia. And the first night I was in ceremony, you know, I noticed that the shaman would come out and give these blessings to people, you know, that we were all on our mattresses and the shaman were up on the front altar, and they'd come out with their waira and their shandur, their lotion and their special leaves, and they'd do a cleansing on people. And I saw this happening and I was like, I want a blessing. I want one of those, right? So the first night I would watch the shaman come like he's coming towards me, and I'd think I was going to get my blessing, and then no blessing, he'd walk by to somebody else, and she'd come toward me, go to somebody else. So that was the first night. And the second night, same thing. And I'm in my head now. This is how everything is perfect, right? Because I'm in my head now. I'm going, why am I not getting a blessing? Like, there's something wrong with me, or something's against me, or oh, it never happens for me. There's an old thought that stuff like that never happens for me. It happens for other people. Other people get their blessings. That just walks by me. That's the way life is. That's a limiting belief. So this is all coming up in the medicine while I'm watching the shaman. Night 2, walking by me. I'm waiting for my blessing. I'm like, now the third night I'm going in and I'm like, I want my blessing. Like, what's up with this? This is ridiculous. Why am I not getting a blessing, you know? So I'm on my mattress, night 3, and I'm feeling a little bummed. I'm getting a little angry, actually. And so at one moment, this is the beauty of the medicine. You just keep being you. You just keep experiencing, what you're experiencing. Keep observing it. Right? So I just was observing that I was getting angry, that I wasn't getting a blessing, that I was feeling left out, that I was feeling like I was passed over. That's a familiar story. What comes up in the medicine is a parallel experience to what comes up in life. So in a moment, all of a sudden, I had this realization that whoever was getting a blessing was actually my blessing. That we were all one. I had this deep realization of oneness on the medicine. And so that all of a sudden I wasn't upset that other people were getting blessings, because I realized that their blessing was my blessing and that my blessing was their blessing. So I started, that little shift in perception was a miracle. And now I'm on my mattress and the music is playing, and I'm being, this is Oprah at an ayahuasca ceremony. I'm being Oprah at an ayahuasca ceremony going, you get a blessing. You get a blessing. Oh, blessing for you. Oh, your blessing is my blessing. Woohoo. I'm dancing. My eyes are closed. I'm sending out blessings. I'm knowing that all the blessings that are happening are my blessings. And all of a sudden I open my eyes and one of the shaman is standing in front of me and he says, brother, would you like a blessing? Yes, I'd like that blessing. Right? I love this story too, right? Because it shows just the same thing as the cracked pot, that what we think is our defect, what we think is wrong, is actually a blessing for us, is actually, and we don't know how it all fits together. But I had to go through that to see a deep realization of oneness so that I could realize that everybody's blessing is my blessing, give up the attachment to the blessing. And when I did that, the blessing came to me. What we seek is seeking us. What we want wants us back. It's a universal principle. And when we stop our judgment, this is why we don't need to judge ourselves or judge another. Because freedom is observation without judgment. There's a medicine thought. Freedom is observation without judgment. When I can simply observe without judging something as good or bad, the truth of that situation emerges, whether it's a cracked pot or not, or a blessing in ceremony. When we can observe without judgment, the truth of any situation emerges. It takes patience and it takes breathing. But when we do that, life comes to us with ease and grace in a magical way. So, so right here, this week at Rhythmia, man, let me tell you, it's just amazing. It happens every week. If you haven't been here, you've got to come check out the miracles that happen each week. The miracles, just like the miracle of something sitting in ceremony and having a deep realization of oneness with all of life and realizing that I don't have to do so much. I don't have to do anything. I just have to be. So one day in service at Agape, Reverend Michael said, it's not about doing, it's about being. And he goes, it's not doobie 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 doo. It's be do be do be do be. We have to be. And then the doing falls out. We be love. We be at peace. We be in observation. We be without judgment. We be the frequency of that which we are seeking. And we don't have to do anything. Right action falls out of that level of awareness. When I am in a mode of doing, I've got to do things in order to be a certain way. I'm coming from a fundamental sense of lack. I'm coming from a fundamental sense of separation. I have to do stuff to change something about myself. And if I can change these things about myself, then I will be this way. What the cracked pot story is telling us, what the blessing story and ceremony is telling us, and what Reverend Michael's story of doobie 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 doo or be do be do be do be is saying that it's more about our way of being, more about vibrating in a particular frequency of our thoughts. Understand once and for all that our minds have a creative and magnetic power to draw anything we want to us. And the mind works in visual pictures. The mind works in pictures. And so if we can begin to shift our awareness from some sense of problem, I'm not getting this, I don't have that, I'm not getting a blessing, I'm a cracked pot, there's something wrong with me, and shift our awareness to visualizing with pictures in our mind that which we would like to emerge in our lives, the magnetic quality of our mind will draw those things to us with ease and grace. With ease and grace. So there's and here's how it happens. It's not, this isn't woo-woo. This isn't, metaphysical stuff. I mean, it is metaphysical stuff, but science is backing it up. Science backs it up. Joe Dispenza likes to talk about a study called the piano study. And the study was done with two groups of 9 people, one group, and neither group had ever played the piano. One group was to do piano exercises for 2 hours a day for 5 days. One group was just to watch the other group do the piano exercises for 2 hours for 5 days. And they measured the brain and neuron, brain circuits and dendrite activity and growth, etc. And in the areas of the brain that are responsible for learning. And what they found at the end of the week was that the group that played the piano and practiced every day for 5 days for 2 hours grew the same amount of neurons, the same amount of brain circuits, the same amount of dendrites and connections as the group that just watched. The group that watched, that didn't do anything, they were just watching and visualizing the other people play the piano. They didn't do anything. They had the same synaptic development in their brain as the group that actually did it. What is that telling us? That tells us that the brain doesn't know the difference between external activity or something that we're imagining in our minds. What it does tell us is that we're preloading the neural pathways in our brain, in our body, to be able to accept that what we are seeking. In other words, the group that didn't play the piano and just watched, they had the same skill set as the group that did the work. They had the same skill set. Their bodies were automatically ready to receive and to execute that which they were thinking of. So when we are going in life, if we can do this visualization, begin using your mind and the pictures in your mind to visualize the things that you would like. You're preloading in your mind the neural pathways so that when that opportunity emerges in your life, your body automatically moves automatically accepts and knows just what to do. That's called flow. That's called ease. That's called grace. And that is something that we all have the power to do. Understand once and for all that your mind is a powerful magnet, and it understands things in pictures, in feelings. So as we work with our mind, we can literally create the opportunities and possibilities for that which we are seeking to emerge in our life, and we've prepared ourselves to be able to receive it when it happens. Woo! That's some good stuff. All right. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Luis, hey, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here, Costa Rica family. I'm so grateful that you're here, Luis. I'm so grateful. Everybody, Colette, hello. Colette from Ireland, great to see you. That's my worst Irish accent. I'm sorry, Colette. Everybody over here in the Instagram world, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. It was such a pleasure to get to do this. Wishing many blessings to Jerry, and just taking a moment right now, right here and right now, to just stop and center in this one truth. We're closing our eyes. We're turning away. If you can, close your eyes and turn away from the world of doing, the world of busyness, the world of getting and spending and late and soon and task lists and to-do lists. You just turn away from it for a moment, just a moment. Begin to sense the presence. I'm going to ask you to bring into your awareness one thing that you're super grateful for. One thing that's a moment in your recollection of being in joy, of being in bliss, of feeling connected, of feeling gratitude. Bring that idea, that memory, bring it up. Feel it. Allow that feeling. Take a breath and breathe that gratitude. Breathe that bliss into your heart. And feel it expand to every cell of your body right now. Feel that gratitude, that love, that bliss, that joy that you experienced in the past. Bring it into the present and feel it moving into every cell of your body. And this is what I'm grateful for. I'm so grateful and so thankful for this place called Rhythmia. I'm so grateful and so thankful for the opportunity that life offers all of us. That I'm so grateful to know that everything is in divine order. I'm so grateful to know that it doesn't matter if I'm cracked in one way or not, that it's all perfect, that I'm perfect just as I am, that you're perfect just as you are. I'm so grateful and so thankful to know. I'm so grateful and so thankful to know that there's a place where we can come to see the truth of who we are when we forget sometimes. I'm so grateful for the teachings and the teachers that have brought these teachings to us, and I recognize the one presence, the one mind, the one life. That life, which is infinite intelligence, infinite consciousness, is everywhere. It's in me and it's in you. There's intelligence in our cells. There's intelligence in all the systems of our body. There's intelligence in the photosynthesis of the plants outside and the way that the earth is spinning right now without human compulsion. We're not doing anything and the earth is spinning. Sun rose today. Everything's in order. I recognize that as the presence of consciousness, of intelligence, of infinite intelligence. We'll call that the presence of God. And I know that I'm one with it and you're one with it, that we can't be separate from it. We emerged from that field. We emerged as an expansion of that consciousness. You are an expansion of infinite intelligence. I am an expansion of infinite intelligence. And so as we are an extension of it, we can't be separate from it. We're part of it. So right now, right where you are, I know that all the intelligence is, all the peace is, all the abundance is, all the prosperity is, all the health, all the vitality, all the creativity, all the excellence is, that it's all right there, right where you are, right where I am. All we need to do is open up to receive it. So I know that there is a knower inside of each one in the sound of my voice that hears this and knows the truth of their being, that all we must do at the sound of this word, at the vibration of this frequency, there's something dynamic happening as we open up to receive our acceptance. We accept the peace. We accept the joy. We accept the abundance. We accept our health, our vitality, our creativity, our excellence, our prosperity, our harmony, our peace. We accept it all. As we accept it, we open the space for manifestation to rush in. I'm so grateful to know that each one lives in a friendly universe that is always providing for you, always providing for me, that all of our needs are met. All of our needs are met. Say that with me right now. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. Right here, right now, my needs are met. Moment by moment, we build a consciousness of all needs met. As we impress that impression upon our screen of our mind, we impress that all of our needs are met. We impress that we are healthy and whole and complete. We impress that we are abundant and prosperous, so prosperous we need never worry again. Ashe. We impress those impressions upon us. Allow those neurites, those dendrites, neurons, dendrites, neurocircuits, brain circuits to emerge so that we can accept accept the abundance that's all around us, accept the peace that's all around us. I'm so grateful and so thankful to know this truth. I'm so grateful and so thankful to know that everybody's on their royal road. Everybody's on their royal road. There's nothing wrong. You, just as you are, is perfect. A perfect expression of the divine. And when we allow our supposed imperfections to emerge, we see the perfection of everything, this divine grand design. Everything fits together. These separate puzzle pieces come together and form a unified whole of beauty in all aspects. I'm so grateful to know this. I speak this word now as a blessing for Rythmia, that it continues on this mighty, mighty mission that it has to be a beneficial presence on the planet and to create a space for others to realize that they are a beneficial presence on the planet. I know it's all happening now. I know that we're all blessed and a blessing. I know that we're all guided for and provided for. I know that we're all connected so deeply that we hear the voice of intuition and give immediate obedience to it. I'm so grateful for this word. I'm so grateful for this prayer. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so grateful. I'm just grateful. Woo! And I say, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Aho. Ache pati. And so it is. Thank you all. Many blessings.